So it's been a wet and windy few days at the smallholding this week. The trees are starting to leaf up, and in some places it feels like it's turned into a lush jungle overnight. More new flowers are popping up that I've not seen before, and the new fruit trees I planted are finally in leaf. So I'm breathing a little easier knowing that they've survived the transplant. I have to confess I haven't spent much time outside this week, but when I do go out, it's lovely to see little surprises like this. The new bare root hedging seems to be flourishing. I'm in the greenhouse today because the weather is just not fit for anything else. So it's Wednesday today. The rain started on Saturday late afternoon and it hasn't stopped since. And you know, so we've had this absolutely glorious weather for 3 weeks? I feel like it's been a whole month. And I know that it was unseasonably warm for the time of year, but it doesn't change the effect that it has on you in terms of when we've now gone back to rainy, windy, dismal, grey weather. You just feel like you can't go out. So you do it in the winter and you go out, you know, you put your winter clothes on, you put your wellies on, you put, you know, like a hood on or whatever. But when you've had almost a month of really glorious weather, it just feels too much to force yourself, well for me, to force myself to go out there in this horrendous weather. So other than just popping out here to check whether things need watering, I have not been coming out at all. The painting in that guest bedroom that I spoke about last week is still not finished. So basically I wanted to do an undercoat on the walls because it gives it a nicer finish. So I ordered it. I didn't have enough, so I ordered it from B&Q, and it's still not come. It's been almost a week and they haven't even dispatched it yet. I phoned them this morning. I was like, is there anything I can do to get it dispatched quicker? And she's like, oh, I can see on the system that it's going to be delivered to you on Monday. I said, I can see on the system myself online that it says it will be delivered by Monday, but I'm just wondering how that's going to happen considering Friday is a bank holiday, Monday is a bank holiday. So if it's not dispatched today, then how's it going to get to me by Monday? Anyway, she was completely useless and I said, is there nothing you could do? No. Well then, I'll calm down, I'll move on. So, the other thing I've been doing while I've been stuck inside is painting the kitchen cupboard doors. I've been wanting to do this ever since we moved in, but it just feels like such a massive job that I haven't. But what I've started to do is just do one door at a time. So I've done 2 doors. There's a lot more to go. But yeah, it's this kind of really horrible orange pine, which I can't stand. I just hate that orangey pine colour and effect. And it's really weird because the sort of sides of the cupboards are like a slightly browner brown. It's a different type of laminate wood that they've used. And then, yeah, the doors are the orange pine. So they kind of don't go well together anyway. So I painted the doors cream, which does go quite well with the sides of the cupboards, you know, like the carcass of the cupboards. It's quite a nice combination of that kind of brown and cream, which I really like. If I'm honest, I'm actually getting really overwhelmed because the whole house feels like it's a mess because the kitchen can't get fully sorted and tidied and cleaned until the cupboards are done. And then upstairs, I can't tidy the upstairs because there's beds and mattresses and furniture and junk and everything everywhere, which I can't move until the bedroom has been painted so I can put all the stuff in there. Anyway, I'll stop boring you with that. I'll give you a little bit of an update instead on what's been going on in the greenhouse. So you remember the peas that I sowed last week? They have come up lovely. I mean, obviously there's only the little heads poking out and I'm hoping there'll be more. They've lifted all the compost up with them, so I keep sort of trying to poke the compost down so that they can carry on coming up out. It's kind of like a crust, a larval crust of compost that's rising with them. So I have to keep poking that down. So I'm happy about that. The salad in the veggie pod is almost all gone. So, but I have been replanting it with these things that I've sown. So I've put some of them in here, the salad leaves, and some of them I put directly outside as just the baby transplant seedlings. And they seem to be working quite well. They have not been, they've not been eaten yet. So I'm thinking, potentially there was something wrong with the seedlings I bought from the garden centre, because it's mostly those that have died, and the things that I'm putting in now seem to be absolutely fine. And my little trees are doing really well. So this is the ginkgo biloba. Look at that. Aren't these leaves absolutely beautiful? So I've got 2 of these. So yeah, it's really nice to see them in leaf and to know that they've come through the winter. And then this is the, what's it called? Yeah, bladder nut. So this is the one you probably don't remember from that video, months ago it was. This has got like a fruit that tastes a little bit like pistachio. But it doesn't look anything like a pistachio, it looks more like a baboon's bum. So I love this, look at these leaves. This is absolutely stunning. I'm wondering whether this is big enough to go out, I don't know, I just feel like it's so delicate, I don't want to put it out yet, but oh, it's lovely. And then the Szechuan pepper plants. So these have all come back into leaf, so I'm happy about that. Let me get the others. Look at that itty bitty thing, it's so small. Absolutely minuscule. And this one is even smaller. So yeah, these ones definitely, oh God, they smell so delicious. Let me sit back down. They smell so good. Oh, it's these ones that smell the best. Oh, these big on. Oh my God, they're so nice. Oh. Okay, I'll stop. I'll put them back. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted about those. The goji berries, they've come back into leaf. Some of the branches have got no leaf, so I'm thinking maybe I'll cut those back. But yeah, I'm happy that these have sort of survived as well. They looked really unhealthy and like a bit naff. This one just looks a bit pathetic though, like, well, quite pathetic. It's just got, and all of these seem to, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if I'll get any fruits, but apparently the leaves, oh, I should taste one while the leaves are, the leaves are good in, you know, you can eat them in salads and stuff. So let's have a little taste now. Actually, that is quite nice. It's got that's like astringent taste to it, so it's not like a sort of just a succulent, like a lettuce leaf, which is very watery. This is quite astringent, but the flavour is nice. I do like that. And the rhubarb, let me tell you about the rhubarb. So do you remember I pulled them all up? So the 4 of them that I had planted outside, I felt like they were rotting. So I brought them all in here and they seem to be doing well. This one's the Polish raspberry. It's survived lovely. This one is Victoria. Again, it's fine. I'm happy with that. This one is the Goliath. And this is the one that was rotted the worst, is Timperley Early. I had high hopes for this because it did start getting a little bud. Somewhere here there was a bud, so I thought, okay, brilliant, that's going to survive, it's going to grow. But the compost had gone really dry. I watered it and then the bud seemed to just go gooey, and I only watered like a little sprinkling on the soil, not on the crown at all. But yeah, it obviously didn't like it, so I don't know if that's going to survive at all. I've taken it out of the compost now completely, so that it's just the bottom is sitting on the surface, or tucked in a little bit. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that. And the other thing I'm happy about, so I bought these ground nut, they're kind of like these round things that you plant in the ground, and then it there's a climber. but it's the nuts underground. They're not nuts. So the tubers underground is what you would eat, and they're a really high source of vegetable protein, which as a vegetarian is really good for me to be able to get sources of protein. So one of them, can you see that? Tiny little thing. One of the 6 or 7, how many have I got? Of the 8, one of them was finally shooting. And it's been at this stage for nearly 2 weeks now. So I'm guessing they're just quite slow growing. So yeah, I'm happy that at least one is doing something. The ochre that I got, one of them is sending out this tiny, look at that, so cute. The mashua has come back into leaf, and you know, there was a few little like tiny tubers in there that I'd separated out, and some of them, no, only one of them has actually come into leaf as well. So maybe the others are just coming, they're on their way perhaps, I hope. And then the other thing, look at that. So I bought some hedging plants from my local garden centre a few months ago, and in the pot there was like this a root of something, and I thought, oh, I'll plant that and I'll see what that is, and it's this. What is it? It's beautiful, but I've got no idea what it is. So yeah, if anyone does know, let me know, and if it's something desirable, then I'm going to pop it out in the garden, because I do love it. And the other thing I was really worried about was this, what's it called? The Japanese ginger. So it looked so dead and so miserable over the winter, and I thought, you know, that's gone. I've killed it. But no, look at that, it's shooting. In fact, I think I should put it in a bigger pot, because I can feel it really pushing out on the edges of this pot here. So I'll put that in a bigger pot while I decide exactly where I want to put it. It is nice being in here and looking at all the plants, but it kind of is also like this biting feeling at your brain. Plant me out, plant me out. And some of them obviously aren't ready, but others, yeah, I would like to really do it. But then there's so much ground prep to do before you plant something out here, you know, when it's a field of rushes and grasses and other plants. It's creeping buttercup is the problem here. There's so much of it everywhere, like you cannot escape from it. When we got the key to this place, the fields were yellow. The front 2 fields, they were yellow. They were all yellow, and it was the creeping buttercup was in flower. And it's everywhere. Like you cannot escape it. Even in the little garden behind the house. It's funny, you know, because this week I have been feeling a bit low. You know, like, oh, I'm motivated and not wanting to do stuff. I'm feeling like, oh, there's too much to do. I don't know if you ever get that feeling. But anyway, I get it a lot. But it's been really bad because I've not been able to go outside. I haven't been going out and working outside. And it just reminds me of how valuable it is to be able to walk out of your door and go outside and work on the land. I don't know, there's like this medicine for the soul, you know. So having to go without it after being out there, you know, because obviously it's getting dark now at 8:30 at night. So you've got the whole day and you just lose track of time because you're out there and you realise, blimey, it's dinner time and I haven't even cooked anything yet. You know, and yeah, it's been really lovely to be out there all day, every day in the beautiful sun, but now I'm struggling a bit, you know. And yes, I suppose I could go out there when it's like this, but I think that would just add to my mood of feeling a bit low, you know, because it's not just that it's wet, it's really windy as well. You know, and that just makes it horrible. So yeah, it's been a bit of a meh week. And you know, when I look on the weather app on my phone, it only shows you for 10 days. The next 10 days is rain. So it's not stopping. Which would be fine if my paint would come and I could get on with my job. Anyway, I'm going to go inside. I've been painting plant labels so that, you know, all the trees and everything. I'd really like to put a label on each of them. You know, like this one that I made for the rhubarbs. I'm going to go and have a quick look at the veggie pod, then I'm going inside. Okay, yeah, these look like they're surviving. So where I've got these is where I transplanted the little lettuce. So they look all right. God, it's probably too windy, isn't it? And then these rockets here, a neighbour gave them to me. So they look like they've survived and they're all right. I transplanted a couple of the peas, those two that I had here. But yeah, the ones that I got from the garden centre, oh, look at that. It's not even... Look at it. Fallen off. I'll take that in, I'll eat it. But anyway, do you know, so I think of all of them, yeah, look, see that? Ah! Yeah. That's really annoying. Really, really annoying. But these are okay. Yeah, so I'll leave those to carry on doing their thing. Let's go inside because it's really rainy. Oh, the birds are at the feeders. I need to go and check on them actually. I tell you what, my motivation for doing this is nil. But yeah, it needs doing. So this is the last side. So I've done 2 coats on that side and I'm doing the second coat on this side. And then I'm just going to go around the edges again. But I'm going to do that separately later just because it's so messy trying to do it all at the same time. I just don't have the patience for it. And then I think I'm going to work on building a cupboard. Yeah, I've got a stack of wood just behind the camera there to build the carcass. So I might start on that today, I think.